In this video, I'm going to be comparing and contrasting the skate lace toe bridge with the bungee toe bridge that you can use to attach the toe of your pad to your skate. I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of both, and at the end I'm going to give our recommendation at Modern Goaltending for what toe bridge you should use with your equipment that's going to give you the feel that you want. Now, even though I may give a certain recommendation at the end, what's ultimately going to help you decide what toe bridge to use is the feel that you like with your equipment. Everybody likes something different, so hopefully the pros and cons of each are gonna help you decide which toe bridge that you would like to use with your pad. It can sometimes be a tough decision, and there's so many equipment modifications nowadays that sometimes it can be tough to decide what to use in what situation and why. So hopefully this guide helps you decide which toe bridge you should use with your equipment. And a quick disclaimer, I know that there's another type of toe bridge that Warrior makes where it's sort of like a double loop hybrid bungee toe bridge system, I would call it. I'm not going to comment on that in this video because I've never used it, we've never used it, so I don't want to comment on anything that we don't know about and that we haven't done enough research on to make a good recommendation on or not. So I'm going to get right into it, and I'm going to start with the bungee toe bridge. To us, the biggest and most obvious pro of the bungee toe bridge is that it's always going to be in line with which way your toe is pointing. So when you go into the butterfly, that pad's going to rotate with it, and when you stand back up, that pad's going to rotate and snap back forward to face the same way that your toe is facing. When you T-push and you push across and you snap that toe closed to finish your T-push, that pad is going to snap closed with your toe, so it's always square, it's always facing straight forward. I would call this responsiveness. I think the responsiveness with the bungee toe bridge is immediate and you can feel it. And with this type of responsiveness, your pad and your foot are going to feel as one. So if you like the feeling of your skate and your pad being one unit, this is the type of feel you're going to get from that bungee style toe bridge. And then the next pro of the bungee toe bridge is that it's very quick and easy to strap in. You just loop the toe bridge through your skate and then you Velcro it up top. It doesn't get any easier than that. So now I'm going to go into the cons of the bungee toe bridge. Probably the biggest con with that toe bridge has to do with the RVH. And there's a few different cons with the bungee toe bridge regarding your reverse. So the first and most obvious con with the bungee toe bridge going into your reverse is that there's not really a landing zone to get your toe bridge into the post. Now, some goalies in their reverse, they like to go skate on post. I prefer to go toe bridge into the post because that pad is going to be flush against the post and you're not going to have any pucks go off the side of your foot and in or skip over your skate blade and go in. There's nothing worse than they're off to the side of the net, they shoot it along the ice, and the puck hits off the side of your skate or jumps over your skate blade and goes through that little foothole that's created when your skate blade is on the post and your coach is looking at you from the bench like, what are you doing? You know, it's understandable as goalies, but the coaches don't always understand. So you don't have a ton of landing zone to find your toe bridge into that post, and it's hard to do. And once you do find that toe bridge, there is a little bit of a lag in push off from that post. So anything that's elastic like the bungee, when you go to push off the post in your RVH, it's going to expand first. So while it's expanding, you're not really going anywhere. Once it gets taut, then you'll finally be able to push off, but you're losing a little bit of time, and as you know, on in-tight plays, split seconds make a big difference. So I think how hard it is to get into your RVH with your toe bridge in the post and push off with immediate response on a push off is going to be two of the biggest cons with that bungee toe bridge. A couple other cons of the bungee toe bridge or things to be aware of is that they're a little bit tougher to install. You might have to push them through the toe unit with pliers, and that's a little bit tough to do. Also, they can have a little bit of an inconsistent feel from when you replace them. So every time you replace them, unless you get them exactly as the way they were, they can have a little bit of inconsistent feel from install to install. And that's not something terrible to get used to, but it's just something to be aware of. And lastly, with the Bungee tow bridge, they're a little bit expensive to replace. It's about 20 to 30 bucks a set. And so, you know, while they can be durable, you may not want to pay $20 to $30 every time something happens to your tow bridge. Having said that, now we're going to move on to the skate lace tow bridge, and we're going to go through the pros and cons of the skate lace. So this isn't necessarily a pro of the skate lace, but I just want to take a second and compare it with the feel of the Bungee. So the Bungee, it feels like your pad is directly attached to your toe all the time. Well, with the skate lace, when you put a little tow bridge in there, it's going to have a little bit of a looser and disconnected feel. Your foot is going to feel a little bit more independent of that pad. That's just a feeling thing. You may like it, you may not. Austin and I at Modern Goaltending, we like to have that little bit looser feel where our foot feels a little bit more detached from our pad. And you know, we even like that to the point where when we order our pads, we order them with no bootstrap, because we don't even want the bootstrap feeling of having our pad connected to our foot. So that's something to think about when you're just thinking about the feel of the skate lace tow bridge. But probably, again, the biggest pro with the skate lace tow bridge has to do with transitioning and playing in and out of your RVH. Rather than the pad being attached directly to your toe and your skate, now you have a few inches, 2 to probably 3 or 2 to 4, depending on how loose you like your toe bridges, of landing area to get into your reverse with your toe bridge into the post, or slide into your reverse with your toe bridge into the post. So because you have a bigger landing area, it's easy to do and lock your toe bridge into that post. Now, like I said earlier, the benefit of playing with your toe bridge attached to the post is that there is a seal on that post next to your foot, and the puck isn't going to go in there. So it's a very secure feeling when the puck is off to the side of the net, and you don't have to reach down with your glove or blocker on either side to take away that foothold, because your pad's already doing it, because your toe bridge is linked into that post. The other thing is that when you go to push off that post, unlike the Bungee tow bridge, because your skate lace tow bridge, when it's linked into that post, is going to be taut. It's going to be like a taut rope. When you push, you're going to go right away. There's going to be no lag time, and because you're not waiting for that Bungee to expand out, you get more power and you get a quicker response pushing off the post coming out of your RVH. So obviously pushing with your toe bridge linked into the post is a skill, but it's much easier to do with a skate lace tow bridge. So a couple cons of the skate lace tow bridge is going to be more replacement type thing or housekeeping type thing. So you know, the skate lace, it can come untied during games if you don't tie it well, and of course now you're stepping on it, then you eventually cut it, and then now you don't have a tow bridge anymore. And I've gone periods of time in games where I don't have a tow bridge, and it's very uncomfortable, and you don't want to be, that's the last thing you want to be thinking about while you're trying to play a game. So you have to make sure you do tie them really well. They're not just easy to Velcro on top of your skate like a Bungee is. The second con of the skate lace tow bridge is that they're a little bit less durable than a Bungee. So, you know, they don't last as long as the Bungee. They're pretty similar, but they don't last quite as long probably as a Bungee tow bridge. But they're much cheaper to replace. You can get skate laces for like $8. So even though they're not as durable, I find they are pretty durable, and they're also much cheaper to replace. So, and they're much easier to replace because you don't have to use pliers to wind them through the tow bridge unit on your pad. So our final recommendation for a tow bridge, if you couldn't tell already, is going to be the skate lace tow bridge. Not only do we like the feel of the little bit disconnected foot from your pad, but the biggest thing is its utility in the RVH. You can get into your RVH easier, you can push off your tow bridge easier, and because of that, we just feel more secure with it and safer with it when we're playing in the RVH and when we're facing shots from a tough angle. You know, it's easy to feel nervous about shots from a tough angle because it's the last thing you want to give up as a goalie. And when we have the toe bridge and we're able to seal that post around our foot with that skate lace toe bridge, we feel much more safe and secure in that RVH, and we know we're going to be able to push off right away to get to the middle or get to far side if there's a pass across or a pass out for a one-timer. Now, obviously, with this disconnected skate and leg pad feeling, when you T-push or get up from the butterfly and you stop, your pad isn't going to snap back forward as quickly or easily as it may with the bungee toe bridge. But I've found personally that the strapping on today's leg pads is pretty good, and with all the different things that you have, the leg pads snap themselves back forward pretty good and reliably. So you don't have to worry about your toe bridge doing the work to snap your pad back forward. And over the course of this past season, in his 9th year of pro hockey, our other goalie coach at Modern Goaltending, Austin, used 3 types of toe bridge. He used the bungee toe bridge to start. Then he used the true hybrid, which it's kind of like a half skate lace, half bungee toe bridge. It's like a bungee skate lace. But for this video, we're still going to categorize it as a bungee style toe bridge. And then he finally, towards the end of the season or mid-season, settled on skate lace because he liked the feel of it and he liked his ability to get in and out of it in the RVH, and I'm the same way. So that's why this whole past season I just used skate lace personally. But you have a 9-year pro, even in his 9th year of pro hockey, trying different things, tinkering with his toe bridges to try to get a little bit of an advantage. And because if a 9-year pro can even be going between toe bridges, it's easy to understand how anybody could have a trouble deciding which toe bridge to use on their leg pads. We hope this video helped. If you have any questions or comments on it, please leave them below in the comments and we will respond to them as quickly as we can. And hopefully, looking at the pros and cons, this helped you decide which toe bridge you should use. But remember, even if we recommend something, what ultimately should decide which toe bridge you use is the feel that you like with your equipment, what makes you feel comfortable, and what makes you feel like you're confident and you're going to play your best every time you step on the ice. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.